Welcome to Writing Through It. I'm Eric, and I'm going to be repicking my reads for August. That was a weird way to say August. August. No, for my TBR for August. My last video, if you didn't see it, you can go back and watch, but I did finish. DNFing is finishing most of my August TBR, so I'm going to need some new books for August. I'm also putting a poll out there in the community post. I think it's going to have some of the books that I DNF'd recently, and I'm going to hope you guys will help me in this and vote for the one that you think I should redo, but this time in an audiobook form, because I've never listened to a fiction book in audiobook. And if that works for me, then I don't have to get rid of these American classics, these world classics that are the greatest books of the 20th century and before. And I really would like to keep them on, but I just have really been failing to read them. I can't get into it. But maybe if I listen to it, I'll be able to. So let's get into the wheel and see what replacements I am going to be faced with for August. Number 1. Let's go. Lots of books, lots of books. What one is it going to be? The Hellbound Heart. Yeah, this is basically the book about Hellraiser. Well, I mean, not about Hellraiser. It's the movies are based off of this book. So this is a horror thriller, and I'm excited about that because that's a recent addition. Sorry, other books that have been on my wheel for a while and not get picked. This one got put on like last week, and it's already going to be grabbed up by me, so that's fantastic. No, but I'm excited about that one. I liked the movies, but I know the book is much different from it, so I'm really curious to see how that book was written to inspire all of the movies. And I have found that when you write a novel, you have a lot more, I don't want to say wiggle room, but you have a lot more space to make certain things that don't exactly translate onto the movie screen. That's why it's always great to be able to read the book and watch the movie. I think you can like both, though I understand why it's really difficult to do that. I don't know that I've ever done it, but I did enjoy, well, no, there's one time I did for sure, and that was The Running Man by Stephen King. The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie was a favorite of mine as a kid, and then I recently, last couple of years, read The Running Man because I didn't realize it was a book. Completely different from the movie, but in a really great way, where at first I was like, well, this is nothing like The Running Man of Arnold's day, but it was better in certain ways, and the movie was better in certain ways, and that was a thrill for me. It's still one of my top novels and one of my favorite movies, guilty pleasures, I guess, if you want to call it that, versus a high achievement of the cinematic arts. Okay, let's get back into it. We got 1. Let's go for 2. I think I'm going to do 3 because I figured that would be a good number, a safe number for me to hope for. Okay, so I might be putting my money where my mouth is on this Audible thing because Pride and Prejudice, I don't know. That doesn't sound like one that's going to be an easy read for me on paperback. God, I don't know. I mean, it's Jane Austen. I've never read a Jane Austen, so I might like it. I know so much has been based off of this novel, which, I mean, the story has to be amazing, right? It's just, I can't necessarily get into it. So I might have to consider this one on audiobook as well. So I might be doing 2 audiobooks in this month of August, which is going to be weird. I'm going to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. I don't really have much to say about it. I don't even remember what movies I've seen that are based off of Jane Austen, but it's a lot of rom-com or romance movies that I believe, but anyone who's a Jane Austen lover, I'm sure is like screaming at me right now. So I'm going to move on and say, yay, let's see how the audiobook goes. Cause I think it's 448 pages, and that's a bit of a commitment for me until I really get into loving these classic works of literature. I just think it's going to be too big of a task for me. So audiobook it is. Let's go for 1 more, shall we? Yeah, 1 more. Let's bring it home. Bring August home. Stardust. Okay. All right. Neil Gaiman. All right. Cool. Now, I haven't read a Neil Gaiman book, but I've been excited about it. I enjoyed the movie Coraline. I really enjoyed his book on Norse mythology. It was one that I read because I was really getting into Norse mythology, trying to write this book and just learn about it and study different religions, ancient religions, polytheism and all that for reasons of my own desire to learn about all the different comparative religions throughout history and what common themes they had. At any rate, this was a nice book about some of the stories that were in Norse mythology. So I enjoyed his writing there. I enjoyed Coraline. I've been wanting to read Coraline or something from him. So this looks like it's going to be the one that I do. Also, I have a couple other ones, but was it Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman did Good Omens? Anyway, I watched the series. I enjoyed the series, and that's on my list as well. But after reading some Terry Pratchett, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it, because I understand his style and how I could see it represented in the series Good Omens. But how do Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett balance each other out on that writing? And do I even like Neil Gaiman? We'll see. So that's that. That's the books I'm going to add to my list for August to buff out that list a little bit. And I hope that they're wonderful. I hope that the audiobooks help me get into the writing so I can appreciate these great authors that have inspired so many people and are beloved by so many people. I just haven't been able to do it. I'm not against them. I'm just saying my little brain can't seem to comprehend or process or enjoy those books. But I have enjoyed the movies based off of those books or the ones that they've inspired. So there's that too. It's all confusing. That's the nature of creativity. It's not just one thing, it's many things. So what are you going to do? That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you in the next one. But until then, journey well, my friends.